evening and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I am Nadon Sirivardhana and we at Art Television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. Tourism Ministry reports an upward trajectory, potentially surpassing the numbers of 2018. Colombo Port becomes the world's fastest growing port, government says. Tourism industry needs an entirely new outlook, presidential advisor says. News in detail. In Sri Lanka's tourism sector, which is showing a strong upward trajectory, top officials have reported over 1.16 billion visitors so far in 2024, noting a significant recovery for the industry. Tourism Ministry officials expressed optimism that if current trends continue, Sri Lanka could surpass its benchmark year of 2018, speaking at a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre recently. Tourism Ministry Secretary Somaratna Vidanapathirana highlighted the setbacks faced by the industry since 2019, but noted concerted efforts by the government, private sector and affiliated institutions have led to a promising recovery. Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority Deputy Director General P.U. Ratnayaka added that tourism revenue from January to June 2024 amounted to approximately $1.55 billion. He highlighted the development of large-scale resorts in Kuchaveli, Kalpitiya and Deduva, which are ready for promoters with additional projects in Yala open to investors. Ratnayaka also noted the completion of several development projects with a total of 16 investment projects approved, totaling 224 rooms and an investment of approximately $25.39 million. Speaking further at the press briefing, Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau Chairman Chalaka Gajabahu highlighted several successful marketing initiatives over the past 2 years. The Promotion Bureau Chairman emphasized the Seeing is Believing project, which hosted 189 international travel bloggers and communicators over the past 2 years with the goal of accessing the niche market segments. Tourism Promotion Bureau Chairman Gajabahu says that the Bureau also utilized 15 major travel fairs and 29 road shows to promote tourism. Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management Chairman Shirantha Pires reported that the institute trained thousands of students between 2021 and 2023 with plans to train over 10,000 trainees in 2024. Further, the Department of National Zoological Gardens Deputy Director H.G. Jayasekara reported that local and foreign tourist visits to botanical gardens have seen substantial increases. He revealed that by June 2024, the gardens generated 735.56 million rupees, marking significant growth compared to previous years. Qatar Sri Lanka Business Council, aimed at fostering closer ties between the business communities of both nations, was inaugurated in Qatar recently. The event to inaugurate the Qatar Sri Lanka Business Council was attended by the Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Qatar, Mohammad Nafas Mohideen, along with the Council office bearers and embassy officials.
Ambassador Mohideen added that the Council will create a conducive environment for enhancing trade volumes, attracting foreign direct investments and exploring emerging sectors of mutual interest by fostering direct engagement between businesses, promoting investments and facilitating knowledge exchange. President of the Qatar Sri Lanka Business Council, John Prasad, highlighted the Council's objectives, including promoting bilateral trade, sharing investment opportunities, fostering business collaboration, enhancing networking and supporting SMEs. The success of the Qatar Sri Lanka Business Council will depend on the active collaboration and participation of business communities from both nations, aiming to create a dynamic and mutually beneficial network. The relationship between the two countries officially began at the ambassadorial level on July 20, 1976.
State Minister of Foreign Affairs Taraka Balasuriya participated at the 31st Ministerial Meeting of the ASEAN Regional Forum on the 27th of July in Laos. According to a press statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the State Minister made a compelling address at the meeting.
In his speech, the State Minister emphasized the need for the ASEAN Regional Forum to sustain its efforts to promote peace, security and cooperation in the region. State Minister Balasuriya highlighted the importance of addressing cyber and network security system challenges and tackling transnational organized crimes. He proposed that ARF initiate climate justice programs, establish strong regional mechanisms for disaster relief and response, and collaborate more intensely to address climate and environmental changes. On the sidelines of the meeting, the state minister engaged with several delegations, including those from Philippines, China, European Union, Russia, Bangladesh, Papua New Guinea, and Laos.
Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. Secretary to the Ministry of Ports, Naval and Aviation, KDS Ruwan Chandra, announced that a leading research publication in the shipping industry, Alpha Liner, has recognized Colombo Port as the world's fastest growing port in the first quarter of 2024. He revealed that Colombo Port boasts an impressive operational performance and a growth rate of 23.6%. The Secretary to the Ministry of Ports, Naval and Aviation said this at a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Center recently.
Secretary Ruwan Chandra highlighted that the Colombo Port generated an income of $50 million in the first quarter of 2024, despite facing challenges by trade union actions. He elaborated on the significant strides made in the port's operational performance and the substantial contributions of all 4 terminals, with ongoing efforts to enhance their capacities. Additionally, development work at the Eastern Terminal and Northern Port is underway, along with projects at Trincomalee, Galle and Kankasanturi ports. A passenger ferry service from India now operates every Friday using the newly constructed terminal building at the Kankasanturi port.
Speaking at the press conference, Chairman of Airport and Aviation Services Limited, Atula Galketia, reported a 25% improvement in airline operations compared to 2023, with significant increases in both passenger and cargo services. The chairman revealed that by July there have been 4.3 million international passenger movements, with expectations to reach around 9 million by the end of the year, reflecting over a 26% growth compared to last year.
AASL chairman said that international air traffic increased by 24.5% by June 2024 compared to June 2023, while air cargo movement rose by 28.96% in the same period. Chairman Galkati emphasized plans to establish 30 more counters, construct 4 e-gates and resume construction on the proposed second terminal at the Bandaranaike International Airport. He said that with the conclusion of negotiations with JICA soon, the construction process will begin by mid-next year and completed by the end of 2028 to accommodate about 9 million more passengers. He further addressed the resolution of salary issues leading to the resignation of air traffic controllers and the government's efforts to recruit and train new controllers.
The Sri Lanka Export Development Board successfully conducted its 24th Exporters Forum on the 25th of this month, a crucial platform aimed at addressing and resolving the challenges faced by exporters. The forum was presided over by the State Minister of Investment Promotion, Dilum Amunugama. During the event, Minister Amunugama highlighted the establishment of a trade facilitation task force at the EDB. This task force, with designated focal points from relevant public sector agencies, aims to identify, analyze and address bottlenecks in the export value chain. The Trade Facilitation and Trade Information Division of the EDB organizes the Exporter Forum regularly. Exporters are encouraged to present their issues to the Export Development Board through various methods, including mail, email and special online platform OATO. Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The neighbouring countries' Economic Development Cooperation Agency of Thailand and Sri Lanka's Finance Ministry signed a record of discussion to launch a capacity building program for officials of the upcoming Public Management Office. Under this agreement, NEDA will fund the training of 20 to 25 Sri Lankan officials in Thailand this October. The agreement was signed following an invitation from the Department of External Resources of the Finance Ministry in Colombo recently.
The signing ceremony in Colombo was also attended by Paitun Mahapanapun, the ambassador of Thailand to Sri Lanka. This initiative is crucial as Sri Lanka aims to establish the Public Debt Management Office by the end of the year, enhancing its debt management practices and ensuring long-term fiscal sustainability. Treasury Secretary Sirivardhana emphasized the government's commitment to preventing future economic crises and noted the long-standing cultural and religious ties between Thailand and Sri Lanka. NEDA President Perames Wuttironetirax commended the progress made by the Sri Lankan government and affirmed NEDA's readiness to share its expertise in public debt management.
The High Commission of Sri Lanka in Singapore, in collaboration with the National Gem and Jewellery Authority of Sri Lanka, organized the Sri Lanka Pavilion at the Singapore International Jewellery Expo 2024. The event took place at Marina Bay Sands, Singapore in this month.
This year's expo featured over 300 companies from 35 countries, displaying more than $250 million worth of local and international gems and jewellery. Singapore Trade and Industry State Minister Alvin Tan visited the Sri Lanka Pavilion, where he admired a variety of Sri Lankan semi-precious and precious stones, including blue sapphires, rubies, amethysts, alexandrites and tourmalines. The highlight of the exhibition was a natural royal blue sapphire of Sri Lankan origin, weighing over 100 carats and valued at $3 million. The Singapore International Jewellery Expo serves as a crucial platform for countries aiming to expand their reach to regional and international markets.
Senior Presidential Advisor on National Defence and Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka said that Sri Lanka's tourism is at a crucial juncture where the entire outlook has to be reimagined. He said that the contribution from the lower-end tourists who actively promote Sri Lanka through social media has to be taken into consideration while continuing the effort to attract higher-end tourists. Senior Presidential Advisor Sagar Ratnayaka said this, speaking at the inauguration ceremony of the annual Colombo Hotel Show exhibition held at the BMICH recently.
We are at a juncture that tourism has to have a new outlook. We will reach the 2.5 million tourists that we had prior to the Easter tax by December this year. But the country needs tourism just as much as you need tourism to enhance its earnings. It's the lowest hanging fruit for the country, where activities can be created for any type of tourist. It's how we grasp that, grip it, and create the story and benchmark the different types of tourism we require to bring in the numbers and the quality and the money. We are going to push the high end, but if you drop the low end, the advertising will stop. The high end will come, they'll come enjoy the country and they will go back, but then they'll be too busy to talk about it. It's the lower end, the backpackers, that kind of person who will do all the blogging, all the advertising, which our tourist board unfortunately is still behind on, and that's what will bring the numbers in.
With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.